So the Hakuto team is getting the endorsement of the OG team come this October. Yeah, I think they kind of deserve it. Still, when you consider how much the Precure team dynamic has changed over the past 15 years, I can't help but feel like this is the equivalent of the show writers meeting the Heisei writers and... Oh, right. You know, maybe this is the one movie Shoji Yonemura shouldn't write for, even though I've heard mostly positive things about Superstars. Following up on the last episode, we learned more about Saya's brief tenure as a TV actress, or to be more exact, the poster girl for a vegetable commercial. She never really brought it up because she felt it wasn't necessary to do so, but someone from her past never forgot. A fellow young actress named Ranzei Ichijo. Any relation? She was in the vegetable commercial with Saya, but in the background and in a spring onion costume. So she got a role on television dressing up as a giant food product. Yeah, definitely related. Ranzei believes Saya got the lead role because of nepotism, as her mother was a famous actress. Saya claimed that wasn't the case, though something was clearly bothering her. Whatever the case, both girls were taking part in the same audition for some new movie, and much like her possible relative, Ranzei challenged the Precure to see who would get the lead role without even giving her time to eject. Later that day, Saya practiced saying her lines for the audition. Said lines coming off more than a little apt for her current situation. I'm guessing the title of the film is Overt Exposition, directed by Christopher Nolan. Also, don't talk about roads or paths too much, or else another certain blue Precure is going to come in and give us a long lecture about the subject. Meanwhile, Hana and Homari were having Hakutan create some charm bracelets for them using a new, non-plot relevant toy that we've seen more than once in this franchise. Funny thing, I actually tried to look up this toy on Amazon and couldn't find anything. And yet I found listings for a new Hakutan accessory. Diapers. For the plushie. Is it meant to act as like a new power-up for her, or... You know what, let's just drop it. The next day, in order to get more into character, Saya headed to a lake to practice her lines again, and in a really well-animated sequence, says them perfectly. Her friends who had secretly followed her, kind of creepy, complimented her acting talents, only to be disappointed a minute later when she's unable to do it again as she suffers from a case of the stage jitters. To be exact, she ends up becoming overly concerned about how others view her performances, which was understandable as almost everyone around her was comparing her to her mother. As a result, Saya didn't even know if she really wanted to become an actress or not, or if she was just following in her mother's footsteps. This minor case of identity crisis was diffused by Hana when she made this face. Oh, there we go, the weird Hana face of the week. We didn't really get one last week, so I was kind of worried. No, but actually, she and Homari were trying to lighten the mood in order to encourage Saya not to worry about whether or not she was emulating her mother, and to just take a shot at the audition to see if the acting was for her or not. Meanwhile, Kurayasu, Purple decided to punch out early and handed off her villain duties to Lulu for the day, as she had a date with her boyfriend. She went to him using her usual go-anywhere cab service. Jeez, I feel sorry for the custodians who have to clean up those tire tracks every day. Lulu, while keeping her usual poker face, was confident in her abilities. At the audition, Saya gets encouragement from her friends, but Lil Miss Spring Onion has to lay on the pressure on thick. A few days later, and Kurayasu would call and offer her an internship. Thankfully, Han and Homari again come in to defuse the situation by dressing up as stewardesses.
I'm a flight attendant.
How about a stewardess then?
It's flight attendant!
Make it a stewardess for me!
Whatever, they put on a fairly entertaining little skit, and before security could arrive to take them away, they gave Saya some last-second encouragement, which pumped her up just enough to get her through the audition. This left Ranzei a little salty and open to an attack by Lulu, who by far has the best Oshimaida summoning animation. I especially love this little bit where she seems to play DDR for no reason. Lulu proves to be their most difficult opponent so far. While her monster lacked brute strength, she managed to predict all the Precure's moves and adjust her strategy accordingly, even bringing up full-on data sheets about them. Admitted, you're just reading that stuff off of the Wikipedia. In particular, she pointed out how Saya mostly acted as the tank of her team as she had no real offensive skills. She bypassed her shield and all seemed lost, but Saya still had a little HP left, and with the encouragement of her friends still fresh in her mind, managed to create a new Miai crystal that she used to strengthen her shield. Saya really is the Mashu of this group, isn't she? Don't worry girl, once the 6th singularity hits, you'll be a top tier servant soon enough. For the time being though, she manages to shield bash the monster, stunning him long enough for Hana to deliver her usual finishing blow. Thus, the episode ends with Ranze scoring the villain role of the production, much to her jargon, and in an interesting subversion, Saya doesn't land the lead role. But while she was still unsure whether or not she wanted to become an actress, the whole experience of the audition left her satisfied. However, much like last week, this episode ended with a hook for next week as some unknown boy embraced Homare. This was overall a nice episode. I will admit, the thing I'll probably remember the most about it is the one-off character, but still, the stuff it said was nice. While significant plot progression did occur a lot more than last week in fact, it wasn't exactly the most engaging story. Then again, it didn't really have to be one, as this was clearly just meant to be the beginning of Saya's character arc. Through it, we clearly established her conflict, the steps she's taking to overcome it, and what her friends are doing to help her out. Both of the scenes where Hana and Homari encouraged her were quite touching, and again, just nice. Oh, and another thing I'll remember from this episode is definitely Lulu. They did a good job defining her fighting style, relying more on tactics than brute force like most Precure generals. Sure, they kind of jobbed her out a little too early, showing that her plans are inflexible, but if they build off of this through her character, I certainly look forward to seeing more of her and her silly yet really awesome little flying saucer. Overall, this episode did exactly what it needed to do. It fleshed out Saya's character and set up for some much more interesting developments on down the line. Part 3 of the Sweet Precure review is almost done, and it should be out sometime in the coming week. Look forward to it as well as all my future videos. And until then though, farewell for now my friends, and... Ooh, they're taking pre-orders for the new Guts Donuts Kun plushie? Where's my credit card?